submitted this recipe for strawberry tea cakes. And when I saw that, I thought, now there's something that I'd like to do with a strawberry. At certain times in the year, you know, you're inundated with strawberries. So you're always looking for recipes of things to do with them. And so let's make tea cakes.
Great, that sounds wonderful to me. We'll just start with a little bit of flour, cup and a half here.
Okay. Is this an old recipe
Yes,
or something that you picked up new?
No, it's an old family recipe. My mom used to have at least 100 jars of those jardiniers of strawberry plants in our backyard. We're just adding sugar here.
Okay.
And what we did was we had strawberries in every conceivable way. We had this is a little bit of salt, a teaspoon of baking soda.
Okay.
Teaspoon and a half or 2 teaspoons of cinnamon.
Okay.
And that is our dry ingredients.
So you used to, you had to find things to do with them. Besides, did you put them up too? Did you make preserves?
We made jam, preserves, jellies. We also made strawberry soup. We had strawberry fritters. We had strawberry everything. There was no lack of strawberries at our place. But it's a delightful thing. It's something different. And I know my mom would be happy that we're still making it. So.
Yeah.
And now here comes the hard part. We do the wet ingredients.
Okay.
Okay.
2 eggs.
2 eggs. And this time they're not over easy. We're just, whoopsie. We're just going to beat them up.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you make sure that they're room temperature first? Is that, I mean, there are some bakers who are really fussy.
Yeah.
But maybe this is not a very fussy recipe.
No, it's not. It's such a forgiving, easy recipe. This is just very good. We're just going to add our little wet ingredients here. There is our eggs.
Okay.
And here is our 1.25 cups of oil.
Your preference for oil, Antoinette?
Vegetable oil. I like a nice vegetable oil. It does not have to be canola or anything, but you could. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's not.
Take this out and use the spatula.
And now we'll use the spatula because we'll add our chopped pecans.
I let you do this.
Oh, sure.
You know how to do this.
I've been doing it for more years than I want to remember. Actually, now at this age, I don't remember most of those years, but they're coming back once in a while. And all we do is mix this. This is just a 9-ingredient recipe. It's very forgiving. It's a moist one. Mm-hmm. And it's like sort of like a banana nut bread, only with strawberries and pecans.
Yeah. And again, obviously, you could swap it out if somebody is. And a lot of people have an intolerance for nuts.
Yes.
And so you could obviously make this without nuts, but I you know, for me, you got to have more nuts.
Me too. The more nuts, the better. Yeah. I'm into I love the nuts. But for those who can't have them, and we have family members who can't, I always make sure that we do have some loaves made without the nuts.
Right. Yeah, that seems to be common. You know, when I was a kid, Antoinette, my grandmother had a sister who moved to Georgia.
Oh.
She moved to Albany, Georgia, and she had some pecan trees on her property. Oh. And she sent us a great big cardboard box filled with pecans. And so we kids, we just loved nuts. So we were always sneaking in there and getting them. And one time my grandmother came and she was so mad at us. She said, "Don't you go getting into that box of pecans." She says, "I'm the boss of the nuts." And then we kids we fell over. We couldn't stand ourselves, and we laughed so hard. And I have to say, to my grandmother's credit, that mad look on her face just dissolved, and she laughed along with us.
She had a laugh right with it.
Because otherwise, she would have, given us one of these.
Yes, you would have got the forehead hit or something.
So it's a sort of a stiff.
It's a little stiffer. It's a little
stiff
stiffer
batter.
Yeah, it's not very runny. You just use a little of the nonstick in the pan.
Here's the thing. Usually when we make whatever they call it, the cakes, tea cakes or banana breads or quick breads.
The quick breads.
We make them in a 9x5 loaf. But, that makes more than 4 too, you know, and you can't use it up and it dries out or it goes bad or whatever.
Or you eat too much of it, which is how you get this way. So we don't want to do that.
What you can do is just to buy some smaller pans And this recipe is reduced in terms of the amount. So instead of making two great big loaves, we're going to make these tiny loaves. And I'm just going to use some non-stick spray because it just makes life so much easier.
In the old days, you were greasing things and everything. Now, just a little spray, a little dab will do you.
Now, these are all attached, so I'm not going to put anything in the fourth one.
That's
so
fine.
If you would just fill up those,
absolutely.
Try to divide that up.
All right.
Sometimes I think that recipes are so much more than just a list of ingredients because both when you make them, as you said, we were talking earlier, you sort of pay tribute to the people who taught you that recipe.
You really do. They're never really gone as long as you're making that recipe.
Yeah.
And it's circulating and people, families are enjoying it. Your loved one that you got it from is still enjoying it because they know that recipe is living on. You're honoring their memory. It's great fun.
And wouldn't they be surprised?
Oh, my goodness. My mother is probably turning over in her grave saying,
with joy.
With joy, saying, I don't believe what she's doing. That this is a very nice old-fashioned thing. And, you know, with prices and gas and everything like it is, stay home, make dinner for two. In the old days, dinner for two used to be, oh, I hate to make dinner for two people. Not anymore.
Yeah.
Now, dinner for two is something really special. If it's with your spouse or a date or your loved ones or your family member, if you care enough to make dinner for two, make it special.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to put these into a 350-degree oven and cook them until, as they say, they're done. And you have some that are already made and packaged.
They were packaged. These were frozen. You can freeze
You got
them.
the other one that we sliced up.
This one,
bring that over.
Freeze wonderfully.
So here it is. You know, not only was it, you know, a great recipe to make, but we have, you bake once and you can enjoy it 3 different times.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm going to put these right over here.
Great with a cup of coffee in the morning.
There you
nice
go.
little thing with lunch. And it's also very yummy as the dessert. So if we want to just put a slice on here.
Let's make a serving. I probably want 2 slices.
Oh, absolutely. You're a growing boy. You've got to have
little tiny cakes.
They're just teeny. That's right. Now, I made a little bit of a light, it's half whipping cream and half mascarpone cheese with a little bit of sugar sweetened on it. And I made the ultimate strawberry sauce, which is simply fruit with a little bit of water added. Makes a great sauce.
Okay, so you just, do you heat it up or just, you don't even heat it?
No, if you want, you can use hot water if you want the sauce to be hot, but, you know, we're just going to drizzle some on here.
Oh, so now you're making something simple into something very fancy looking
we
here.
kick it up. We'll give it a little fancier version. And we would just put a few of these on the side. And we're good to go.
See, I love these with just a little dab of whipped cream cheese.
The whipped cream cheese, and if you use the strawberry cream cheese, it's such a pretty presentation.
Oh, yeah.
That's a very nice way to do it, too. But this is just a little different version for you to taste and see what you think.
You know how it is.
It's a dirty part of his job.
I know, but somebody has got to do it. Antoinette, it is always a pleasure to cook with you. But it's even more of a pleasure. Oh, my goodness. Antoinette, that is a dessert that if that were the end of a dinner for 2, it would be the perfect happer. You've brought us a very simple recipe, a recipe that, you know, you can all emulate. And this recipe and over 100 more terrific recipes for dinner for 2 are available to you in our brand new cookbook. Thank you, Antoinette.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
Really great. And more about that cookbook in just a moment. But if you don't mind, I'd like to once again say hello. I'm Nancy Polinsky, and I want to talk with you about cookbooks in general, not just our specific cookbook. Have you bought one lately? If so, you know that they cost, you know, anywhere from $20 or $30 on up for those really beautiful hardback glossy ones. We're asking you to make a contribution to your public television station that could be the basic membership level or more. And what you get for that contribution is an endless supply of recipes which we bring you here on the air regularly, year-round. And not only do we bring you the recipe, we show you how to make the recipe. So you get this endless supply of recipes, and also for your membership dollars, you get an endless supply of other programs beyond cooking programs. So what an incredible investment it would be for you to become a member of this public television station. It's so easy to do. You simply dial the number at the bottom of your screen and let one of the fine volunteer phone operators manning the phones get some basic information from you. Now, if you make that call of support at this moment, I hope that you will consider pledging at the $65 membership level, because at that $65 level, we can add to your cookbook collection with our thank you gift, the Dinner for Two cookbook. This is the latest in the series of the America's Home Cooking cookbooks. It is all the recipes that we're preparing today on the air and about 100 others. So plenty of great recipes for you in all kinds of categories, easily broken down. We've been obviously looking at desserts, but there are also soups and stews and veggies and side dishes and seafood, casseroles, pasta, main courses, about, as I said, over 100 recipes. Our thanks to those of you who become a member of public television at the $65 level. So please, right now is the perfect opportunity for you to go to the telephone, show your support for public television, and become a member of your station today. I'm joined in the studio with Kristen DeAngelis.
Thank you, Nancy, and thank you for tuning in. Absolutely, go to your phone now and dial that number at the bottom of your screen with your credit card in hand. It doesn't take long, and when you do, you will feel so great knowing that you've done your part to keep your public television station strong. And speaking of feeling good, Chris. I can't wait to dig in.
This is so superb. The little tea cakes are just moist, and but I love the nuts and the texture of the strawberries. The only thing is, if Antoinette could just cheer up. She is, you know, ebullient is not just a word. That's her picture right there. If you look in the dictionary, you'll see Antoinette. Antoinette, she's really terrific. Sends in recipes that are easy to do, but sort of she has this old-fashioned way about it, and really, and boy, delicious. So as a matter of fact, I have a cup of coffee over there and some more.
Well, we were wondering if you were going to bring over the espresso too.
So I'm going to go back and have some more. You could tell them about how they can become a member and what some of the great thank you gifts are.
Absolutely. If you want this recipe, call the phone number at the bottom of your screen with credit card in hand, and we will send it to you. Not only the Dinner for Two cookbook, but another family favorites cookbook. And this cookbook is really all about you, your family favorites, your history recipes, your significant recipes that just have something, a special place in your heart. You wrote